In a small coastal town where the sea whispered against the cliffs and the sky stretched endlessly blue, there lived an old painter named Elliot Grey. His cottage sat on the edge of the shore, surrounded by wildflowers and seagull cries, and though his hands trembled with age, his heart still burned with quiet passion. Elliot was once famous. Decades ago, his paintings had hung in galleries across London and Paris. Critics called him the man who painted souls. But fame is like a wave. It rises, dazzles, and then breaks upon the shore. Years passed, and the world moved on. New artists emerged with louder voices, bolder colors, and digital brushes. Elliot's name slowly faded, just like the paint on his old canvases. Now, at 73, Elliot painted alone, more out of love than purpose. Every morning, he'd walk to the market, buy his paints and a loaf of bread, then return home to face an empty canvas. Some days, the silence felt heavy. Some days, he wondered if anyone would ever care again. One foggy morning, as he sat sketching by the harbor, a young woman approached him. She had messy auburn hair, paint-stained fingers, and eyes full of curiosity. "Excuse me," she said softly, "are you Mr. Elliot Grey?" He looked up, surprised. "I used to be," he chuckled. "Now I'm just a man who can't stop painting the same sunset." The girl smiled. "My name's Clara. I study art at the university nearby. I saw your old exhibition in an archive, The Faces of Silence. It changed how I saw portrait painting." Elliot blinked, taken aback. "That was 40 years ago." "I know," Clara said, "but your paintings, they felt alive, like they understood sadness, like they were still listening." That afternoon, Clara stayed and watched him paint. She asked questions, took notes, laughed at his dry humor. Days turned into weeks, and soon she visited every evening, bringing coffee and stories of her chaotic art classes. Elliot began to look forward to those visits. For the first time in years, someone truly saw him, not as a relic, but as an artist. One day, Clara asked, "Why did you stop showing your art to the world?" Elliot hesitated, then sighed. "Because the world stopped looking. I thought if no one cared, maybe I should stop caring too." Clara looked him in the eyes and said, "Maybe the world didn't stop looking, Elliot. Maybe it just forgot where to find you." Her words echoed in his heart long after she left. That night, he stood in front of his easel, the moonlight spilling across the canvas. He realized he wasn't painting for galleries anymore. He was painting for the same reason he started all those years ago, to feel alive. Over the next few months, Clara helped Elliot organize a small exhibition in their town's library. They called it The Tides of Time. The walls were filled with his new work, soft, reflective pieces full of sea light and quiet emotion. When the day came, the townspeople wandered in, surprised to find the old painter's cottage soul displayed in full color. There were no critics, no flashing cameras, just neighbors, students, and friends, standing still, breathing in the beauty of someone who never gave up creating, even when no one was watching. Near the end of the evening, Elliot noticed a young boy staring intently at one of his paintings, a portrait of the sea merging with the sky. "Do you like it?" Elliot asked. The boy nodded. "It feels peaceful, like it's breathing." Elliot smiled, his heart swelling. "That's all I ever wanted my art to do." As the sun set beyond the library windows, painting the sky in shades of gold and lavender, Elliot realized something beautiful. Legacy isn't about fame, it's about connection. It's about leaving a piece of your heart behind, so someone else can find it and keep it beating. That night, Clara found Elliot sitting by the shore, his eyes reflecting the last glimmer of daylight. "You did it," she said, sitting beside him. "We did," he smiled. "I spent half my life chasing recognition. Turns out, I only needed one person to remember." The waves rolled softly against the rocks, as if applauding. And in that golden silence, the old painter didn't feel old anymore. He felt timeless. Because art, real art, never grows old. It just waits patiently to be seen again.